Hi there, this is Jill Coleman with JillStamps.com, and in this video we are going back to the classic paper crafting technique of baby wipe stamping. I just really love the baby wipe stamping technique, and I thought it was perfect with the new work of art stamp set from Stampin' Up. So once I saw that, I thought it would be a lot of fun to use the baby wipe technique with those watercolor brushstroke images. So I was just surprised this month with some of my club members that they had never done baby wipe stamping, and so that's why I thought I'd make a new video, and maybe some of you haven't seen it as well. Just one warning with this, it is a technique where you're going to get a little inky, but that's just the fun of paper crafting and rubber stamping, and you're just going to get inky. If you want to put some gloves on, you might want to do that. So I'll show you real quick and easy how to use the baby wipes for stamping. You basically need to create an ink pad. And you're going to do that with baby wipes. I've taken just a plate. I've layered 3 baby wipes, one on top of the other on the plate. And I don't know if that's the magical number or not, 3, 2. It just, for me, creates the right amount of squish or push or padding or whatever you want to call it to make an ink pad. Then pick the colors of your choice for Reinkers, and you're going to drop those on the baby wipes. For my project, I use Pumpkin Pie, Coastal Cabana, and Crushed Curry. So you'll just take those, and about 3 drops each drop zone, each place you drop it, put about 3 drops. And so I will fill this baby wipe up with color now. Okay, so now we've got our baby wipe all full of color, 3 colors. You can kind of see how the spread around the pattern. If you find that you have some white spots between the colors after you've given them a minute or two to spread out on your baby wipe, you can fill that in with a little bit more color just to make sure that when you stamp your image, you don't end up with a spot that's not inked. So I'll just drop a few more colors in there and make sure we have our white covered. And now you have a baby wipe stamp pad with multiple colors. We're going to take the zigzag image from the Work of Art stamp set for this project. I'm stamping on a piece of Naturals White cardstock, and for this one, because we're going to have an extended amount of zigzag lines longer than the actual image, we're going to pull out the Stamp-a-ma-jig stamp positioner to help me line those up, because I know I can't do it by my own eyeball. So here we are. Going to ink that up, just press it in there. And the first one I'll just line up with my own eye. I'm going to just use the wood edge of the block to line it up with the edge of my paper and stamp. And isn't that fun? You just get the watercolored tricolor look. You can take off any extra ink if you like on that, or I'm bringing it over and using my Stampin' Scrub to do that. Now to line up my next image, I'm going to bring in my Stamp-a-ma-jig, the stamp positioner. Don't know if you've used that before. I have a lot of clients that have never used that. They've just kind of passed over it in the catalog, and it is a great tool. You can see I already have my image stamped, but just a quick little Stamp-a-ma-jig tutorial. What you get on that is the T-square. The one in the current catalog now is black with the Stampin' Up logo. I've had mine for many years. And you'll get a positioning sheet. There's a smooth side to this and a rough side. I put my rough side down. That allows it to grip your background or your grid paper a little better. And you'll bump that up on your T-square. This is also your preference as far as which way you like to work with your T-square. I prefer my T-square on the top and my imaging sheet underneath. And so this is how you first come to use your Stamp-a-ma-jig to get your image positioned on there. So I've taken my image, I'm going to ink it up, and I want to get it on my positioning sheet. And so I'm going to slide that wood up against the T-square, make it tight, and then press down on my imaging sheet. And now that imaging sheet will allow me to stamp my zigzag image exactly where I want it. So we'll bring our stamped card back in here. We're going to line up that imaging sheet. Put those zigzags to link up the ends. Bring our T-square back in. Touch it to the imaging sheet. Pull out the imaging sheet. And make sure you've got your image ready to stamp the same way you did it on your imaging sheet. And then ink up again using our baby wipe ink pad and stamp that. And you get your zigzags to line up. Okay, we'll do 2 more of those just for this particular card. And on this, I want my zigzags to line up. So again, I'm going to use that Stamp-a-ma-jig because I want my points, valleys and mountains, to tuck in tight to the row across the way. So bring that back in. And it just lines up perfectly. Okay, there you go. We've put a double set of zigzag lines in there, and that's a great backing to your card. We're going to layer that on a piece of crushed curry cardstock to match the ink we're working with. Pop that on your card base. We'll use that same image to create a coordinating tag. I'm just inking up in my baby wipes again, stamping that zigzag on the bottom of a small piece of Naturals white cardstock. Let me measure that for you real quick. It is 3 1/4 by 2. I love my grid paper for that reason. Punch the top with your scalloped tag topper punch. Stamp the greeting that says "You are a fabulous work of art" in Memento Black. We'll add some sequins, a bit of the crushed curry chevron ribbon, layer that all up onto a finished card, and there you've got it. That's baby wipe stamping, and that's the stamping portion of baby wipe stamping. And here's one other option, and this is where you get inky. Once you're done using those baby wipes, you can then take and pick up your baby wipe and begin to drag it across. This is now a piece of Whisper white cardstock, much smoother finish, and so the baby wipe is going to glide across this. And beginning off your edge of your cardstock and going across, just lightly drag those baby wipes, all inked up, across your paper. And it makes just a great background image. And you can leave it as white and streaky as you want, or really just push hard and saturate that cardstock with color. If you'd rather, you could even take it and wad up the baby wipe and then just do a streak, more like lines if you want to create a background. So that's kind of fun. And so that's baby wipe stamping. Just make sure that when you do this, create this background, let it dry a little bit before you stamp anything over the top if you are going to stamp an image directly on that baby wipe stamping, because again, it stays wet for a little while. You could hit it with your heat tool. And here is a finished card using that background. So that's baby wipe stamping. I really hope you enjoyed this tutorial. Maybe it brought back some good memories. I'd love to connect with you again over on my blog. It's jillstamps.com. You can find me on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and Pinterest, and you'll find those addresses on the closing credits. Thanks for being here today. Bye-bye.